Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, today we're going to be talking about the developers of the Call of Duty franchise. Between Treyarch and Infinity Ward, they're both just very obnoxious when it comes to actually acknowledging the Call of Duty community with a lot of our complaints and issues and things that we just want to discuss with the actual developers. They only listen to the people, obviously, who are going to talk very positively about their game. I mean, I think we can all come to a conclusion about that. That is very obvious. That the shills, basically, are the people that the developers will talk to. Anybody who has any type of negative criticism, even the slightest bit, is not going to be even acknowledged by these individuals. And then these developers have the nerve to actually get angry at the community and angry at these people when we start getting riled up, when we start getting very annoyed, when we start making even worse rants, yelling, screaming, ranting about the game and the developers, they start to get pissed about that type of stuff, when in reality, it's all their fault. If they would just speak to us and just let us know that they hear our concerns, we wouldn't be complaining like this. We wouldn't have to talk to them like this. We wouldn't have to be cursing them out or have to spam any of their social media accounts just to get a point through their heads. If they just answered us, whether it's positive or negative feedback, it simply does not matter. It really doesn't. As long as they just respond to us, we won't be complaining as much. We wouldn't have as much negative stuff to say because they actually gave us an answer. We know what they're thinking. We know what's going to be happening. If they were to come out and say, yo, you're never going to see a change in skill-based matchmaking. Screw off. Stop talking to us about it. Then we would know. Then we will probably stop talking about skill-based matchmaking. Maybe we would make the occasional rant about it, because obviously it's very annoying, but we'll probably direct it in a different situation, and it wouldn't be as bad. But the reason that this community keeps going back to back and complaining about all these issues is that they never respond to us. They never give us a legitimate answer. And because we never get a legit answer, we're always questioning whether they hear us or not. So we keep making videos. We keep making content. We keep spamming their social media accounts because we don't know if they're hearing us. We don't know if they saw what we said. So we want them to see what we said, and we're going to keep telling them until they do see what we say. Right now, the Call of Duty developers are really developing a very unhealthy relationship with the COD community. They've been developing this relationship for a very long time, and I don't even know if it's repairable at this point. I feel like it's just a constant beef between the community and the developers. Yes, of course, there's going to be the occasional people who do enjoy the games very much. All they do is talk positive about these games, and they see no issues wrong with it, no matter what the problem is with the game. Obviously, these individuals will still be here, and they're always going to be around. But for the mass majority of the community who's on YouTube and Twitch and stuff like that, it's just a non-stop beef. And because of this, the game is always going to be in a constant phase where it's never going to get better, I feel like. Because it's a constant beef between the developers and the community. So whatever the community says, the developers are going to get pissed off because the community's getting pissed off as well. And it's just going to be a constant fight because we're both pissed off. And let's be honest here. When you're pissed off, or if someone's yelling at you, or complaining at you, and nothing's really wrong, you don't see any issues with what you did, you're not going to respond to them. You're not going to do what they're saying, let alone even acknowledge them. You're probably just going to ignore what they're saying. So why would these developers do anything that we're saying? Because we're just sitting here complaining. We're just sitting here bitching. But in our eyes, we're complaining because they're not listening to us. They're not acknowledging us. And we're getting annoyed. So the more annoyed we get and the more they ignore us, the more we're going to yell. The more louder we're going to get, because we're hoping that the louder we get, they're going to actually acknowledge us one day. These developers are so cocky that they think that every single idea they come up with is absolutely genius. They're outstanding ideas. They've never come up with one wrong thing in the universe. And this is a bad mentality because you can't think that way. If everybody thought this way, nobody would improve. All the musicians, all the content creators like myself for YouTube and Twitch, all the comedians, if you don't listen to constructive feedback, there's a lot of flaws that you won't polish out to make sure that your career is better. And that's the same exact thing when it comes to games. That's why Call of Duty is on a constant downward spiral, because the developers won't listen to any constructive criticism. Literally, they only listen to people who praise their game. And if it's not praise, they're not going to listen to it. And because of this, we see tons of bugs, glitches, horrible weapon metas, horrible map designs, horrible game decisions, tons of bad things happening to Call of Duty because they won't listen to us when we say these things aren't good. I mean, do you guys even remember Call of Duty Modern Warfare in its prime? The game didn't even ship with a normal minimap in the beta. It didn't even have a normal minimap. No minimap. It was zero HUD. We had to complain throughout the whole beta just to get a minimap back into the game. It was literally nothing. You couldn't see your teammates through the walls. You couldn't see anything on the minimap. There was no minimap. It was basically playing hardcore the whole time. And we started off with no minimap. Then we finally got the minimap back, but with no teammates on it. Then we finally got the teammates to show through the walls because we kept complaining that we don't know where the teammates are. So they highlighted teammates with blue through the walls, but still didn't put them on the minimap. Then we complained so much about that they finally put the people back on the minimap. But they still didn't put red dots on it. Why do we have to go through this many steps? Why did they have to do like 3, 4 things just to put the minimap back? Could they just put the minimap back? Was it that hard? Did they really have to highlight people through walls and just put the minimap back with no teammates on? Like, what's all the extra steps for? Just put it in the game. Nobody asked you to be all extra with it. They literally thought that having no minimap in Call of Duty Modern Warfare was genius. Someone at that development team thought it was the best idea in the world, that they fought with the community for weeks to not put it in the game, and still didn't put it in the game in the final version. They still did not put the normal minimap in the game. That's how stubborn this development team is. Or these developers as a group, Infinity Ward, Treyarch, Sledgehammer. That's how cocky these people are, all because they're developing a game that makes millions and billions of dollars. They think they're above and beyond everybody else in this world. Just as a good example, Battlefield 5 had a massive issue as well. They changed the time to kill. They completely changed it and it screwed the whole game. Nobody was happy with it. The whole community went into an uproar. Everybody complained. And guess what happened? They talked to us. They responded to us. And even though they didn't fix it right away, they still thought it was a good idea. They still gave us feedback. They told us they weren't going to change anything. And at least that was a step in the right direction. At least they spoke up, showed that they got some balls, and they showed that they can talk to the community without being like all these other community managers out here who are just going to block you if you say anything negative. Oh my god, this world blows my mind how people are nowadays. It blows my mind. The sensitivity in some of these people is so pathetic. It's just, oh my lord. But back to what I was talking about. They didn't do it at first, but at least they communicated with us. And then we kept complaining, and we kept complaining, to the point where they finally understood that was a stupid game decision. Nobody likes it. It was a horrible decision, so they completely reverted it back to normal. This was a major game decision. You know, it was the time to kill. It's how fast or how long it takes to kill an enemy. That's one of the biggest things that anybody can contemplate or, you know, adjust in any FPS game. That's what FPS games are about, how fast you can kill an enemy. And they completely changed it back because the community wanted it normal. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the minimap. One of the biggest parts of a Call of Duty game is the minimap and seeing where the enemies are, seeing where your teammates are, seeing how the map design is laid out. The minimap was everything. And we had to fight with them for months just to get it back to a semi-normal state. And they still haven't reverted it back to normal. Once again, the level of cockiness and these developers is mind-boggling. The fact that they think that every idea they come up with is genius hurts my soul. I don't even think... You guys think that I make every video and I think, oh my god, I am a genius. You know, I'm the smartest man in the world. God, all these other content creators, they're so below me. They're so awful. They can't come up with good ideas. I am the top dog on YouTube. No. Why would I think that way? That's only going to bring you down. You're never going to succeed. You're never going to learn anything. I listen to every bit of criticism, and I try to work it around my craft. Infinity Ward and Treyarch don't listen to any criticism. They ignore the community, they push us out, they make us angry, and then they get angry at us when we finally start retaliating. When we finally start getting angry and start fighting back, they get angry at us like they did nothing wrong. It's pathetic. I just wish all of this could stop, and the Call of Duty community could be a little bit more a part of the game. You know, something that we love so dearly as Call of Duty, especially the people who play this game every single year and buy this game every single year. You would think that our voice would be pretty important and that we'll be able to say stuff that we want to say about this game and ideas that we think might be actually helpful for this title. Just like every other game out there, tons of different titles run into the same issue. The developers listen to the community because the community helps make the game great. I mean, that's why some of these games allow the community to make new weapons, make new maps, make new game modes. A lot of developers trust their communities to make sure their games thrive, to make sure their games do good. But Call of Duty doesn't do that. They will never allow us to do anything fun. They would never allow us to make our own maps. They would never allow us to give any gun suggestions for future games. They would never allow us to give any bit of information to help improve Call of Duty because they're in their own little bubble. They think they are perfectionists and that everything they think of is a genius idea. They have the best and biggest and most smart brains in the whole galaxy. God, everybody should just bow down to these Call of Duty developers because they never get anything wrong. They don't miss. They just simply do not miss. They literally nail everything they talk about. But sadly, because of this, The Call of Duty community is only going to get worse and worse, and every game that they release is only going to get worse as well, as this franchise just goes on a downward spiral, just because the developers simply have too large of egos to listen to the smaller community about good game decisions for their titles. Guys, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like, and by all means, if you hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new and you enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification button. Also, want to chat with me, there's 2 ways to do so, I have Twitter and Discord. Both of those links are down in the description. And also, want to catch me live streams of video games, I do that over on Twitch. Link that is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Let's go to the next one. Peace out.